Hello again, my dear little ones, and welcome back to our magical journey through the great stories of Ramayana. Kids, do you remember what happened last time? Oh, yes. Deep inside the forest of Panchvati, the fierce Rakshas brothers, Khara and Dushan, attacked to avenge their sister's insult. But our brave Ram and Lakshman stood tall and fearless. Their arrows shone like golden lightning, and peace returned to the forest once again. The air filled with the fragrance of flowers, birds sang sweetly, and Sita smiled as the forest became calm again. But children, sometimes, even when everything looks peaceful, a storm is quietly waiting to rise far away. And that storm was coming from one heart which was still burning with anger and humiliation, the heart of Shurpanakha. Her wounds still ached, her pride still cried for revenge, and her thoughts turned to one mighty name, Ravana, the powerful king of Lanka. As the night wind howled, Shurpanakha spread her arms, rose into the sky, and flew over the dark ocean towards the golden island of Lanka. And so, my dear little ones, here we begin our today's story, the tale of how one sister's anger and one king's pride lit the first spark of a great tragedy. Our today's episode is Shurpanakha's Revenge, the Spark of Lanka.
Ancient Culture Tales.
Far across the dark sea stood Lanka, shining like a crown made of gold. Its towers touched the clouds, its bridges shimmered with silver light, and its halls glowed brighter than 1,000 lamps. Inside, the mighty King Ravana sat on his golden throne, his crown sparkling, his courtiers singing his praises. Laughter and music filled the room. But suddenly, the great doors burst open. The music stopped, and the crowd gasped. There stood Shurpanakha. Her hair was tangled, her eyes blazing, her face was bruised and blooded. The hall fell silent. Watching Shurpanakha this way, Ravana rose in fury. He thundered, "Who dared to harm my sister?" His voice echoed through the hall. Shurpanakha fell at his feet. She was sobbing, but her tears, children, it hid something far more dangerous, and that was a plan. "Brother," she said weakly, "I went to the forest of Panchvati. There I saw two princes dressed in bark, but they were shining like gods. I spoke kindly to them, but brother, they laughed at me. And that cruel Lakshman, he struck me. He cut off my nose." Listening to this, the court gasped. Ravana's face darkened with anger. He roared, "Who are they?" Shurpanakha's eyes glistened with tears. Brother, they are Ram and Lakshman, the sons of King Dashrath. And when our brothers Khara and Dushan tried to punish them, you won't believe, brother, they were slain by that Ram alone. Ravan clenched his fists. 2 men defeated my Rakshas brothers? Shurpanakha whispered, Yes, brother, 2 men against hundreds. Then, as silence filled the room, her tone changed. Soft, poisonous, tempting. She said, It was because of a woman, brother, Ram's wife, Sita. Sita is so beautiful that even the birds forget to sing when she walks by. Listening to this name, Ravan froze, and deep within his heart, a memory stirred. A memory of Mithila long ago, when he had tried and failed to lift the great bow of Shiva. And Ram broke it with ease. Ravan's anger slowly turned into envy, and envy became desire. And so, from one sister's pain and one king's pride, a dangerous spark was born. Ravan walked to his palace window. The city of Lanka glittered below like a sea of stars. But his mind was far away, lost in the thoughts of Sita. Then he turned towards Shurpanakha and said quietly, If what you say is true, Shurpanakha, then Sita shall be mine. No one insults the house of Lanka and goes unpunished. Shurpanakha bowed, hiding her wicked smile. Her plan had worked. The storm had begun to rise. Soon, the Pushpak Viman, that is Ravan's golden chariot, it soared across the waves and landed near the quiet shore. There, beside the sea, stood a small hut. An old Rakshas sat in prayer. His eyes were calm and his heart was at peace. Children, he was none other than Marich, who was once fierce and now he is gentle like the sea breeze. The air trembled as Ravan stepped down, shining in gold and pride. Marich, he thundered, your peace ends today. You will help me to deceive Ram and Sita. Marich opened his eyes slowly. He said softly, O mighty one, Ram is no ordinary man. His arrows burn brighter than fire. And if you try to harm Sita, ruin will fall upon you and upon all of Lanka. But children, Ravan's pride only grew and grew. You live here because I allow it, Marich, he said coolly. And now you have to obey me. Marich bowed his head. He remembered Ram's arrow, how it had once struck him not to kill but to awaken his heart. Children, sometimes even the wise must walk 2 paths. one dark and one bright, and choose the one that destiny allows. The waves whispered softly as Marij turned to the sea. The sunset painted the sky in red and gold. He spoke quietly. O king, I will not help you for greed or power. But if fate demands it, let me die by Ram's arrow. For that arrow does not bring me pain, but peace. Ravan laughed proudly, not understanding his words. He believed victory was near. But Marij knew destiny had already begun to move. And so, children, the plan of golden deer was born. A plan that looked beautiful but carried sorrow within. The Pushpak Viman stood ready on the shore. Its golden wings shimmered like fire beneath the moon. Ravan stepped aboard with pride, and Marij followed, silent as the sea. The chariot rose high into the clouds. Below, the forest of Panchvati slept peacefully, unaware that fate was already flying towards them. And so, my dear children, the golden plan was set in motion. Beautiful to the eye, but dangerous to the heart. The Pushpak glowed like a star in a stormy sky, carrying pride, deceit, and destiny. Children, today's story teaches us something very important. Anger, jealousy, and pride, these are like sparks. If we do not control them, they can set the heart on fire. Kids, Shurpanakha's anger and Ravan's pride together began a chain of sorrow that changed many lives. So always remember, when you feel angry, stop and take a deep breath. When you feel jealous, try to be happy for others. And when you feel proud, remind yourself to stay humble. True strength lies not in power, but in kindness, patience, and most importantly, understanding. But children, this is only the beginning of what is to come. In the next episode, we will see how Ravan's golden plan takes shape. As Marij transforms itself in such a beautiful way that Sita cannot look away. A trick, a chase, and a cry that will change everything. So don't miss our next episode, The Golden Deer. And now, my dear little ones, let us all fold our hands together and with love in our heart, say it together. Jai Shri Ram.